What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about the Buffy sequel series in this video here today. So Vanity Fair managed to catch up with Sarah Michelle Gellar recently. They put out this article today where she shared some details on, or some brief details of what we should expect, I guess, in terms of tone related to the upcoming revival series that has caused some concern and frustration online from diehards of the later seasons. But she also readdressed what got her back into this. She said, for so many years, I said no to a possible return of the series. I didn't want to reintroduce something we had already seen. I waited for the right time to come. Then Chloe, a big Buffy fan, proposed the project to me, and I accepted. She said the gestation was long. It's been 3 years, and we're still working on it, but soon filming will begin. She said it will be lighter than the last few seasons of the original. Now, that is what sparked all of this uproar. It will be lighter than the last few seasons of the original. We will try to find a balance between new and old characters. My dream is to bring back everyone who has died. People didn't like this comment either. But space will have to be made for new stories as well. One of the surprising aspects of Buffy is that it's always been a crossover series. We're trying to figure out how to modernize the themes of the series, especially what it means to feel like an outsider in a world dominated by social media. What we want to explore are the space-time boundaries that affect society today. So one immediate positive that stuck out to me, just thinking of opportunities we have with villains who can potentially return, social media and Moloch's return sounds nice if you want to make Moloch a big bad of a season versus a monster of a week. And of course, social outcast material like what happened with Marcy in the first season can be exacerbated by exploring the dangers of social media today and how it makes people feel even more isolated and alone. Maybe even tackle the mental health aspects of it all a bit better than what we got with that short stint with Marcy in the first season. So those are some positives I saw from these comments. Now, the thing that people are concerned about is how it's going to be lighter than the last few seasons of the original. Many people would argue that season 5 through 6 and some aspects of 7, because I think the general consensus is that 7 is still a weak season. I don't really think it's the worst thing I've ever seen in terms of the last season of a show. But yes, season 7 is a bit on the weaker side. It has its high moments, of course, like Chosen and Lies My Parents Told Me and some other things, but the potentials just kind of felt so crowded and we didn't really get a vibe or chance to vibe with all of them. They were just thrown into the story and they all felt very annoying. And then you have that moment where they kick Buffy out of the house and I'm ranting, so let me get back to what I wanted to address. So the lighter stuff, or the lighter comment from her, got people concerned. I don't see a problem with it, and I tell you why. The first couple of seasons of Buffy are a bit on the lighter side, and then it starts to mature as it progresses. It's been over 20 years since this universe has been on screen. I don't necessarily think reintroducing it in the darkest way is the right way to go. You should have a balance of that lightheartedness while also exploring the darkness, the way season 1 through 4 kind of do really well. Season 5 is, yes, when the show starts to become a bit more mature, I would argue. In terms of the context of what, or the subject matter with Buffy having to deal with her mother dying, being sick, and then, of course, the scenes in season 6 that Sarah ultimately, I think she doesn't even prefer season 6, does she? So these comments really don't surprise me. But yeah, there was a lot of darker material in season 6, season 5, even a little bit of season 7, as opposed to what you got in those first couple of seasons. There's dark material in those first couple of seasons, but season 5 and 6 definitely take the cake for me in terms of dark subject matter and dark themes and harsh truths about life. So I don't see a problem with the first half of the show going down the lighter path. If you can balance it well, like you did with the first couple of seasons of that original show, I will be a happy camper. People are just concerned that this show will try to garner attention too much from the Gen Z crowd. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do that. Gen Z is the audience that they want to try to keep interest in, because I think Gen Z these days doesn't really get too much entertainment from TV shows. I could be wrong. I haven't checked the stats on that lately, but TV shows and movies in general do seem desperate to get the attention of my generation because of the fact that we entertain ourselves in a variety of different ways. So if this can appeal to Gen Z and Gen Z makes it a hit, it's not going to matter if diehards like myself and you don't like it. If there's an audience, it's going to keep existing. Now, the talk of dead characters coming back could be hit or miss. Obviously, the first couple of dead characters that come to mind that I would love to see come back are Anya, Cordelia, because you never talked about the powers that be on the Buffy show. You always talked about it on Angel, but I'm assuming that Cordelia did in fact ascend to a higher being, and if they want to bring in the powers that be for the first time in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, then that's how you can get Cordelia back. Anya, I don't really know how you go about that unless there's some sort of Wishverse episode. It's like a throwback to Anya, and that's how you get Anya back in a universe where she didn't die. Wouldn't mind seeing that. Tara, wouldn't mind seeing Tara again. It's just not always necessary to bring dead characters back. I don't want this to feel like the nostalgia show and Ryan Kira Armstrong's character of Nina, who is supposed to be our new protagonist, our new Slayer, is an afterthought. No. Let a new Slayer story be told. Let's not really dig up all of these old skeletons of the Buffyverse. If I want to see certain characters, I have the first 7 seasons of this universe for that. Yes, cameos are welcome. Seeing Spike again, seeing some sort of resolution to the Shan Shu prophecy between him and Angel. Wouldn't mind getting that answer and seeing one of them, maybe both, back on screen in some capacity. But don't just do it because. Let these characters have meaning, let them have purpose, let them be worthwhile to the overall narrative. Somebody who's immediately sticking out as a comeback is Willow, because Allison Hannigan has been going on a press run of sorts with Sarah Michelle Gellar over the past couple of weeks. So I won't be too shocked if we get the Willow announcement in the coming days, months. Willow's definitely got to be back in some capacity. Who knows? Maybe Nina is somehow Willow's child. We don't know that. It's always a possibility. Fingers crossed, because I would love that. I've always thought that maybe Nina could be Dawn's child as well. I theorized about that on my channel too. That would make it a bit more interesting, because then Buffy is actually training her niece. But you guys let me know, what do you think about Sarah Michelle Gellar's comments? Does it concern you? There's already a bunch of naysayers about the show. I get it. This process of talking about the show is probably going to be one of the most draining things I do on this channel, because I know so many people are against it. They think it's going to be garbage. I just have to stress the same thing I stress about the horror topics that I cover when it comes to movies. If there is an audience that flocks to it, and it's the vast majority, it's not really going to matter if you and me are taking issue with it. They care about viewership and money. And if viewership and money is rolling in, then the Buffyverse is just going to just keep continuing under the Gen Z lens. If Gen Z shows up for it, along with a plethora of other millions of people around the globe, then you better find a way to enjoy it, because it's going to be around for a long foreseeable future. That's all I have to tell you on that. I don't mind it, because I think those first couple of seasons did the same thing. They started off on a lighter note, then they progressively got more darker. But let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. In the description, I have links to all my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there to let me know if there are any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.